Welcome to Verbal Pig Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Doing part 2 on the Tuscaloosa, who the name means black warrior. Tuscaloosa was an Indian chief. They called him the Big Black, but they were all that tribe. I guess you can call them the Tuscaloosa tribe. They were before the Cherokee, the actual mound builders, and when De Soto, the European Spaniard explorer, came into after conquering the Aztecs and Incas, he made his way up into Alabama looking for the gold. Didn't find gold in Alabama, but he found himself at war with the Tuscaloosa Indians, the original Indians. And as I stated, Tuscaloosa means black warrior. Now, De Soto first tried to bribe. This is what they always do. That's what they always do. They come with gifts. He tried to give him a silk suit and a cap, one of the biggest horses that he had, because he came into Alabama with 600 men. He burned their town down to the ground, just like they did in Black Wall Street. You gotta recognize the modus operandi, the MO of how they do it. Burnt the town to the ground, killed most of them, but they enslaved the rest. Then they called themselves Cherokee or Choctaw, but eventually the slaves that were black mixed in with the Cherokee Choctaw. That's why you see different colors of the Cherokee and Choctaw. But they were the Cherokee and Choctaw who fought against the Tuscaloosa people, the black people that had been there before they got there. Now, let me show you how racist these historians are. First, they'll tell you that the first blacks to come into Alabama was the slaves that De Soto purchased along the way, and that was the first time they entered into the area of Alabama in around 1540. Now, Alabama, that's not a European name, and as the Reverend Meggs, Meggs, Meggs or Meggs, stated that those people built the mounds. Now, how can the first blacks enter into Alabama with De Soto when the mounds was already built by the black people that was there before De Soto entered into Alabama? Then they want to switch it around and try to separate and call the slave Negroes, which was still black, meaning that they try to divide and conquer, saying that they won't say, see, it's the game. This the game. The game is, okay, we're going to say status. You had black people as included from the 1870 census as being white as status because they owned land, had gold, and whatnot. And they tried to set that divide from the slaves. So they would call one Negro, they called one black, they called one a freedman, they called one black white. They mixed it up so much, but the whites treated them all the same. It was still racism, no matter where you came from. You know, what area, what part, anywhere on this planet. So these racist historians don't want to give the credence to the fact that the advanced civilization, which whites had admitted that it was more advanced than what the Cherokee and white folks had, what the blacks of Tuscaloosa created before it was burnt to the ground. You know, it's shocking, and not really shocking, because you know what? They've been playing this game with us for centuries, for generations. But you right. if we don't get out and do our own research and study our own history and leave it up to those who never gave us credit in history to one day give us a just due, we kidding ourselves. Really, we're the joke at the end of the day. We don't challenge none of this. We don't share it. We not into a specific type of knowledge. Now, we'll know all the songs from 2 Chainz and these rappers, and some of them wearing dresses, and they got us caught up into that while they reshape and create history and try to lead us into the future. And it's no longer on them. You can't blame them because they're doing what they've been doing when they first arrived on our lands. So, as for the research, some of these calling themselves Cherokee and Choctaw nothing but European Spaniards who raped the original black women that they took in as slaves when they got there. And when DeSoto left, he left his men behind. They built the town and claimed to be the native. Rebuilt the town with part of gold that he stole from the Aztecs and the Incas, and then claimed to be natives. I mean, this is ridiculous. You know, so DeSoto left, went northward, and left that part, but left some of his men behind. And they had scholars to follow his the directions that he took and everywhere he went. But the sad part about it is that the scholars who followed it, didn't tell the whole truth. So how are we supposed to trust the word of some of these historians and when you racially bias? You don't want to give credit. You don't want to talk about how long the mounds been here and who were the mound builders. You know, you don't want to talk about that. That's why much love to the Washita tribe who fought for their history and their rights, who knew we've been here way longer than these Spaniards who came and faked off to be Cherokee and Choctaw. Yeah, came over here, took over, and then some of them classify themselves as white. You know, but what they fail to realize is that, as it states, all things done in the dark will come to the light. All truths will be uncovered. That shows you that they didn't have a knowledge of karmatic law or scripture or things of that nature. Because if they did, they would have knew that everything they lied about and hid would come to the light or come to surface one day. They thought they can keep covering it up and hiding it and covering it up and hiding it, but yet it's still trying to forge its way to the surface, the actual truth of what really took place. You know, and the sad part about it is that even to this day, you have some of these historians still want to uphold the lie. Still fight to preserve that lie, which now they're on the flip side of it because now they're deemed unreliable, not credible, liars, hypocrites, and so forth. So as I stated, Verbal Pick Radio is like no other show. This show is not for the weak-hearted, weak-minded. It's not for the scared. It's not for the Negro. It's not for the slave-minded. You know, it's not for those who see a black child and a white child together and run and smile and love the white child and look at the black child. Oh, hey, you. You know, but this your own kind. This show, if you one of those people, don't do me a favor. Don't listen to this show. There's plenty other cool shows out there you can get involved in that will soothe your fancy. But this is not one of them. Verbal Pick Radio, we're out.